How are you doing, by the way? This is. Don't you think it's such a loaded question? Like, how are you doing? Like, people could be going through so much, and sometimes it's like I personally in my life have like there's so much background noise, and somebody asks me, "Oh, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing good." By the way, we are here celebrating 100 days of me eating oats. Uh, is it worth celebrating though? I don't know. So, first of all, it's been officially actually more than 100 days. I think, yeah, I have been tracking things. I do. So, I have a few questions which I think some people might had. So, I wrote them in a diary. This is one of my diaries, and so we're gonna play a questionnaire. These are like a collection of 100 questions which somebody might ask me, if they find out that I have completed 100 days of eating oats. So I'm gonna complete them one by one here. Okay. Number one, how do I feel? Honestly, I feel nothing. I mean, I don't feel, of course, I don't feel sad. Why would I feel sad? But I don't feel happy either. I mean, not happy like I'm not happy. No, it's not something I think I should be excited for. It's just a breakfast. Oats is such a healthy option. It's such a palate cleanser for me. Like, considering I'm 25 years old, which might be, why am I so ashamed, by the way? No, yeah, I'm 25 years old, by the way. So, considering I'm 25, I have, like, since my entire life, like, for the majority, for, like, let's say for the 80% of my life that I've lived on this planet Earth, my regular breakfast has never been oats. Oats is not the staple diet here. And I've had a bunch of other stuff, like, since the foundational years of my life, but oats have never been any of that. In fact, when oats, were in the market, when people like, when oats were heavily marketed, this was like 7-8 years ago, when companies started coming up, and we would see advertisements on televisions that, oh, oats, never heard of them. Even then, during that time, we tried oats and I hated it. So I don't feel anything. It's just a breakfast, for me at this point. Even after 100 days of completion, it's like, yeah, it's a breakfast. Question number 2. Is it worth celebrating? No. It's not worth celebrating. There's nothing to celebrate here. Again, as I said, it's a breakfast, there's nothing to celebrate here. I've just completed 100 days of eating oats. So I will say it's good if it's worth acknowledging that it basically gives you an evidence, because oats are something I would never have thought that I would consume for such a long period of time in my life. Like, oats right now, it's my breakfast now. Except for Sundays, it's my breakfast. Even on Sundays, I have something healthy, but it's like Monday to Saturday, 6 days a week, oats is my breakfast. So it's like, it's not worth celebrating, but it's definitely worth acknowledging. It's definitely worth a discussion, maybe, that, okay, you gather evidence from the last 100 days. Like, imagine showing up to the gym for consistently 100 days. For somebody who would have never thought that, oh, I'm gonna do the gym. So it's worth acknowledging, maybe not celebrating. Well, you can, of course, why not? Of course, not to sound pessimistic, but I think for me, it's worth acknowledging. Question number 3, is it an achievement? No. It's not an achievement. I've completed 100 days of eating oats. once again, it's my breakfast. I need to, not I need to, but I think the one thing I've realized is that whenever you try to make a positive change in your life, it always starts as like, for the first 1-2 weeks, when there's like friction in your life and there's resistance from your nervous system, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. During that time, every day showing up, it feels like an achievement, which is right in its own manner. Even if the resistance shows up for like 100 days, it's worth acknowledging that, okay, it's an achievement. But I don't see it as an achievement. It's a breakfast. I am trying to build this habit that oats are healthy, right? The calorie count is good. My recipe is quite consistent, by the way. I just toss in vegetables, cook them for like 2 to 3 minutes, add water, add some oats, cook them again. Of course, spices whenever you want to add, and that's it. It's quite simple. And on some days, I also squeeze like half a lemon on top. So the recipe is static. The breakfast is static. It's like an anchor in my life, It's like, this is worth celebrating. Maybe this might be an achievement, that there is something which, because I think as a, I was about to say as a human being, as a dual chin, I think personally, sometimes there are times when I'm like, okay, I need variety. I'm bored. I need some diversity in some schedule of mine. But oats is like such an anchor right now in my life. It's really been more than 3 months that I've been regularly eating oats as a breakfast. And initially there was resistance, there was friction. Now I don't even think about it, right? I don't even think about it. I know that there is no option. I know that I'm not eating it for the taste. It's just my breakfast. That's it. So I don't think it's an achievement. Question number 4. Am I eating it to lose weight? That's an interesting question, because I started out with the goal of losing weight. Honestly, now I'm so far ahead in my journey. One thing I realized is that the food items you are consuming, by the way, I will put it out in the description maybe. I am not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I'm not somebody who, this is purely out of the things that have worked out for me. This is purely out of the things that maybe I have learned online or by reading some articles or ChatGPT, of course. No food item can magically cause weight loss. It's everything that weight loss has to do is calorie in, calorie out. If you are in calorie deficit, that's it. That's all that matters. In fact, now this is a disgusting thing. You can also eat a pizza as long as your calories are in control. Now you cannot eat a pizza. Why? Because there are multiple other things that you need to take into account, like the carb portion, because the pizza have a lot of oil, cheese, and a lot of the wheat flour. Wheat flour. They don't use wheat flour, right? It's a different sort of flour. I forgot the name. I don't know. I think it's a white flour. I don't know. And so all these things, what are the glycemic index, what is their satiety score, what are the calorie count? So everything when you're in your weight loss journey has everything to do with, why am I saying everything? It's all about calorie in, calorie out. If you're in calorie deficit and you're moving your body more, it's gonna work. So today I'm very well aware that me eating oats in breakfast has nothing to do with weight loss. However, me eating oats in breakfast is me trying to regulate my calorie count, because oats are fairly good in calories. They're not like heavy calorie stuff. When you add vegetables and everything, you cook them. It's not a high calorie thing. And the satiety score is really good. It keeps you full for a longer period of time, full of carbs, and overall healthier. So you pick your own meal. You can have anything. You can have a fruit salad. You can have maybe your own home cooked pizza, where you're using oats flour as the base. So as long as it works for you. Next question. Did this taught me anything? No. It doesn't. I can say one thing. The one thing I'm proud of, actually. And again, this is not an achievement, but you can say it's a teaching that As an adult, there's not even as an adult, it's straight away judging, by the way. Everybody in their lives, there is so much, sometimes there is so much chaos happening. There is unpredictability, there is ambiguity, there is uncertainty around many things, around your diet, around your food, around your emotions, your personal life, your friends, your relationships, your work, your school, your education, your salary, your money, there's so much chaos. And when I have oats as a breakfast, and as I said before, I don't even think about it now. It's like such an anchor in my life. It's such a static. It feels like, okay, I have a few things which are static in my life. Yeah. Gosh, something is wrong with my phone. I have so much space. I don't know why it keeps like breaking up in the middle of me recording. So as I was saying, that the one thing that it has taught me is that it's about anchor. It's one of the static things in my life, and I really appreciate it. In the life where if I would represent my life as a pie chart, a majority of it would be like chaos and uncertainty, ambiguity. But this thing like oats as a breakfast is such an anchor in static data. It feels nice. It's like it feels good actually. Next question: will I recommend this to anyone? Of course. I think this is the first question I've said yes to. I am not gonna say that, okay, 100 days challenge. No. Pick a meal, whatever you want. And this feeling, actually, I don't know. Like, it depends on your goal, whatever your goal is. Oats, according to me, as if I'm saying like I'm a professional something food nutritionist, but I would definitely recommend you to like stick to a meal for 100 days and experience what it feels like having one anchor in your life. And a lot of people might already be doing this. They have something static. They eat rice every day in lunch, or they have maybe like a sip, not a sip, maybe they have black coffee at this specific time every day. It becomes like a static thing in your life, right? So of course. Next question: do I really like eating oats? No, I don't. It's not about whether I like it or not, but to the answer to the question, I hate. I don't know. This recipe, the one with the vegetables, it's still eatable, it's still edible. But the way I was preparing oats like in the last 2-3 years, inconsistently, by the way, never made it to 100 days. This is the first time I made it to 100 days. Maybe due to the recipe, because I'm adding vegetables and the spices and everything. Otherwise, but the thing is, I know I don't like oats. Why celebrate the next question? Why celebrate 100 days? Why not 97 or 235 days? That's a good question. 100 is just that number. It's like it outmogs every other number, and that's discrimination. Means I get it, 100. You had your moment now, but yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. 100 is just that number, I guess. Next question: why do you track your eating habits in a journal? I do. And see that now this is a little bit, here's a little bit of point of view that I have. It works for me. And I personally, I'm not a fan of tracking your eating habits. I've been tracking my eating habits since last 3 months now. I have a journal. I think I also showed this in one of my earlier videos where I was like, I got so many books. My first video, by the way, not my second video. And I don't recommend this to people who get overwhelmed by tracking everything they eat, their weight, their measurements in a journal, because it's overwhelming. But the thing is, it works for me, and it works for many other people as well, I guess. If you're a creature of structure, it's disgusting. No, I'm not a creature of structure, but I think I am a creature of organized chaos, if that makes sense. I don't know. The thing is, journaling makes sense for me. It works for me. Not makes sense for me. It works for me, Like when today I randomly can look at like 4 pages before, and I'm seeing like today is June, right? This is the month of June. So I can randomly flip a few pages back and I can see like, okay, I was consistent in the month of March. This was the week during April. So it's like, it builds evidence. It's like the evidence of things you did in the past. And the last question: how much longer do you want to continue this? as long as it works for me. I really think I can nail this for the next 3 to 4 years, maybe, or even lifelong. You never know. It's like, see, as I said, I hate oats. I don't like eating them. But right now, my main priority is not to think whether I can afford taste or not, whether my taste buds should have an orgasm or something, whether they should be dancing. It's not about that. It's about, this is something static. This is like an anchor in my life. It's supporting my calorie goal. It's supporting my overall calorie intake for the entire day goal. And so I'm going to stick to it. And I'm not planning. I think I will probably stick to it for the next 3 to 4 years. Will I ever switch it? I don't know. But I wish to continue this, God willing, for as long as possible in my life. And that's all the questions we had. So I would appreciate if you have something that you've done consistently. It can be anything. It can be showing up in gym for 3 years. And you know what? When I asked my third question, right? Is it an achievement? And I said it's not an achievement. But I think it's more of an acknowledgement. If you've been going to gym for like 3 years or 4 years consistently, or you've been doing something, whether it is studying, taking a mathematics course, or walking 10K steps every day, eating something, or doing something about yourself, like journaling, or like loving somebody, as abstract as loving somebody. Loving is not abstract. If you've been doing any such activity for a consistently long period of time, it definitely deserves acknowledgement. So feel free to share any story in the comment section below. And thank you.